Hey guys, it's Wendy Kuma and I'm in my D.Va cosplay from Overwatch. In this video, I wanted to show y'all how I made my props for this cosplay. This was my first time being successful with LEDs, and I wanted to show y'all not only how I crafted the props, but how I incorporated these LEDs into my props. I do want to show y'all how I made my bodysuit, but I'm going to be remaking it completely for BlizzCon this year. I'm super excited because it's going to be 100% perfect this time. If you would like to see the process of how I make my new and improved D.Va suit, then you can follow me on Facebook. Or you can become a patron on my Patreon account and you can see exclusive photos that I won't be uploading on my Facebook or my Instagram page. The character I'm cosplaying is D.Va from Blizzard's first-person shooter called Overwatch. Overwatch releases May 24th, and I can't wait for everyone to experience this game, and then hopefully all of y'all will see why I love this character so much. If you're thinking about making your own D.Va cosplay, then this is the video for you. I made this costume entirely by myself, but I used the help of Yaya Han's bodysuit pattern. The wig that I'm wearing in this video is Arta Wigs Natasha in the color Mahogany. Alright, so let's go ahead and get started with the headset first. I didn't use any blueprints for the headset, I kind of just eyeballed most of it. I started off making the headband, which was a series of strips that I glued at different angles. And then for the earpieces, I used a couple layers of EVA foam. Make sure to carve a cavity on the inside of the earpieces so your ears have room to breathe. You will need to have a Dremmel tool, which isn't too expensive compared to the printers. It's a great buy, it's inexpensive, and I use it in almost all of my cosplay projects. It takes a little bit more effort to hand cut and carve all of the details, but in the end, it'll still look great. Using a Dremel tool is actually pretty simple. Just be sure to use it in a well-ventilated area. I actually used mine outside. It's important to wear protective gloves just in case you accidentally skin yourself. I also recommend wearing a face mask to make sure that none of the dust gets inside your lungs. The most important part of my process was continuously remapping out everything to make sure everything's perfect before I go on to the next step. And once I was sure they were ready to go, that's when I started gluing things together and then finally plasti dipping. To make sure that the headband was comfortable on my head, I covered some low density foam with leather and then I glued it onto the inside of the headband. This also helped cover up the LEDs that I stranded through it. All of my battery packs are held together through Velcro. For my headphone, I hid a battery pack inside one of the headpieces. To diffuse the light, I not only used a lot of hot glue on top of the LEDs, but also a couple layers of packing foam. On top of the packing foam, I also glued a really thin sheet of acrylic or clear plastic, whatever you would find in a random clear plastic box. I don't even know what to call it, but I kind of just cut it off some random box that I found and it worked perfectly. Once everything was fully put together, I went ahead and started my paint job. Now that the headphones are completely painted and pretty much done, you have to make sure that they fit inside your head and don't just fall off. For this, I used a really thin strip of elastic. I chose to use a sheer nude, but you can use clear or whatever you would like. This made sure that my headphones stayed on my head, and actually the wig did a pretty good job at hiding the elastic. Now on to the fun part, the light gun. So first off, you're going to want to create your own or download a blueprint of D.Va's light gun. You can get this file on Blizzard's website or you can buy one off of Etsy. After that, you're going to want to cut out this profile view on a couple layers of EVA foam. I used 4 layers for my gun. Once you have all your pieces cut out, it's good to just map out each side of the gun just to make sure everything's going to line up right. You're going to want to cut out some of the smaller details on a thinner piece of foam. You can use either 2mm or 3mm foam sheets. You can even go as far for 5mm for some of the more intense details. I spent a long time carving out all the details and rounding out edges just to make sure that the shape of the gun is just right. One thing I love about the Dremel tool is it's so easy to get the shape that you want. It's basically just carving. You have so much free room on the design that you can do. From that point, I carved a valley that the LEDs would sit in. Once the valley was carved, I went ahead and remapped out everything just to make sure it all fit. With a trial and error process, I got the valley as deep as I needed it to. And don't forget to carve a cavity to fit your battery pack in. I put mine on the top of one side of the gun. Once the base gun was put together, I glued the handle pieces to it as well. After dremeling all the edges and remapping out everything to exactly how I wanted, I went ahead and started plasti dipping all the pieces separately before gluing them all together. I prefer to use the paint-on plasti dip over the spray-on plasti dip because the spray plasti dip can clump up pretty easily. Once again, with the LEDs, they're diffused the exact same way. I actually went over the LED portions with this paint called gallery glass. It's actually used for like window clings, but I like to use it for my LEDs because not only does it diffuse it and make it look like it's glowing, but it also looks green when my LEDs are off. Lastly, go ahead and put the finishing details, and then you are ready to paint your gun. And don't forget your bunny keychain. You can buy this or you can make your own with Warblend foam. Thank you guys for watching my video, and I hope it helps you with your future cosplays. If you'd like to see me make anything else in the future, just leave a comment below and I might make it for you guys.